Hello everybody, hope that you're doing very well and welcome to this evening's live stream where we are live right now over on YouTube, um, where we have a little bit of a special nice one for you today. Obviously yesterday was Thanksgiving and with the spirit of Thanksgiving we got a little shortsgiving stream for you. I hope you loved the pun and I hope you loved the thumbnail. The thumbnail was pretty epic. We just had this one made and I'm not going to lie, I pretty much love this. So I must start off by saying, hope that you are, of course, all doing absolutely wonderful this evening, very well indeed, and you're looking forward to what I have in store for you today. Okay, so as always, the way that I'm going to be running this, I'm actually going to be answering a question which I was originally going to be talking about, and this is the bottom in for Bitcoin? Is this $15,000 floor the lowest that we're going to be going? That's what I'm going to be discussing in tonight's live stream. So I think you can all agree this is pretty good information and good topic to be talking about. So yeah, that's going to be the run of tonight. That's going to be the primary topic. I suppose I'll end with a little bit of talking, a little bit of questions and answers. Going to hopefully keep this one not too long. I guess maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour. I imagine this live stream will go on for, but yeah, that's the little bit of the introduction that I wanted to give. I hope that you are all doing very well and you're ready for this live stream. Here we go. Hello everybody. We got a lot of people in here already with us, so yeah, thank you ever so much for joining us all this evening. Have a brilliant time watching. Hope you learned something new, and let's get into the show. That's what you're here for, right? The technical analysis and the trading. So that's what I'm going to give you tonight. I'm going to start off with, I'm going to run this video. If you're new to the channel, I'd like to run this video in kind of a two-part section. I'm going to be covering, first of all, the last, last 3 days of price action fairly swiftly. It's going to probably take me about 10 minutes. I like to just cover what I've talked about since my last public video. That way you can see what I was talking about, what's happened, and I can give you a little bit of educational reasons of why these moves happened, why the moves have bounced, where they've bounced, and basically a rundown of the past few days for educational reasons so you can learn. Then I'm going to move on to what's happening now, the next levels that I'm looking at, and how we can look to trade the weekend going into next week. So yeah, gonna be giving you that information, giving you the insights, and then giving you the targets of what I'm looking for next. So yeah, let's get straight into it. As I said, picking up directly where I left off my last video, where I made it very clear I was in short positions. Okay, at this moment in time, I was in short positions only, no longs. We obviously had a few levels to the downside. The biggest being around this 15,400 zone, right? This was our biggest target zone down at the low. For me, I made it very clear this is a very, 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 very big, important level for me. Is this the bottom of the bear market zone? Well, this was the zone that I had great importance on. Okay, that was the zone that we had great importance on. And now when we add on our technical analysis, we can see the zone that we bounced off of. Okay, we actually came down to this zone in the end, swing failure patterned the low. Okay, this was our low that was made back on the 9th of November. Okay, we swing failure patterned that low, slightly front running the overall MPOC and daily level. Okay, and this is something that we have to react in this situation. We know this is a zone of support. We don't expect exact dollars in this. It's a crowded area. This is a very, very high level of support, especially when people are aware of this. They can slightly front run the levels. But nevertheless, we were given a perfect swing failure pattern. You can see here, swing failure pattern by about $10. Absolutely perfect. And this is what I mean by you got to react. Okay, so step one, recognize a potential swing failure pattern of the overall low potential setup. E.g., we're aware of this low, we're aware of a swing failure pattern trade. This is the low of this year. Yeah, we've got to be reminded and be aware of that. So once you see the swing failure pattern occur, the reaction is absolutely perfect. This was the most perfect swing failure pattern that you could ask for. Okay, it literally was just a simple wick onto the level. So once you've got that long setup based off of the swing failure pattern, you can start to get into your long trade. The invalidation is simply the stop losses below this wick. Okay, then we are waiting for the rise in price. E.g., we saw the swing failure pattern on the 9th of November. Okay, this is really simply swing failure pattern. That's all we need to know. That is a long trade setup. Okay, from here, I had a few questions, of course, as always in my team, after posting in the Discord, hey, we've just done the swing failure pattern. I've, of course, then get a few questions, and I answered that. This was before the pump, before the move up. Simply said, so far we've had a swing failure patterns of the low, which is an acceptable long trade. And I was asked again, I would never short down support like this. This, for me, of this swing failure pattern is a big support zone. Okay, for me, this is a long trade. I would never short down here. The only thing that we can be doing is taking profits on our shorts or longing. This is the only thing that we can do, as we have just hit this swing failure pattern down at around 15,400. It's the only trade setup to be taken. Okay, and then we can start to see that really nice reaction. You know, we're talking actually about quite a while later, the next day. It wasn't until the next day that we started to get this rise, but really the reaction was absolutely perfect from that swing failure pattern. Okay, myself and a few other champs managing to secure the profits on this trade. As we can kind of see here, then as we start to rise, it's a simple case for me of trading up the stop loss on the swing failure pattern long. At the time, this was now obviously a few days ago when I was posting this, but at the time, ES was trading still down below 3,000, below 4,000, sorry. I was saying, well, I think also I want to see ES push up here, which is, likely going to lead to a bit of a Bitcoin rally, seen as we have just formed that swing failure pattern. We want to see higher liquidity. Give the invalidation of this trade, e.g. the stop loss now can be moved up to the VWAP. And I also wanted to see Bitcoin pump to fill the CME gap. So it's as simple as this. See the swing failure pattern of the overall low on Bitcoin with a bullish reaction. So take a long trade with potential long-term swing potential. This has a potential, swing trade setup. This is a swing failure pattern of our yearly low. So once in that long trade, remain patient for higher levels and don't take any shorts yet. No panic, trade the charts. You can see other people not panicking, taking those. Here we can say easy trades. Swing failure pattern is a fairly easy trade setup. So yeah, that's how and why we put in the low where we put in the low, okay? It's a simple case of seeing a swing failure pattern of this sort of zone that we're looking at. And then once seeing that, taking the trade, no hesitation. Recognizing that this is a long only zone. We're not ever going to be shorting down here. The only thing we can be doing is taking profits on our shorts or longing. I myself thought this was an acceptable long swing failure pattern. And yeah, that's basically why we put in this low where we put in the low. It was as simple as that, if I'm totally honest with you. A swing failure pattern. So yeah, if you don't know what a swing failure pattern is, hey, you can come over to chartchampions.com and learn all about that. This is literally one of our most favorite trade setups ever, the swing failure pattern. This is a relatively easy setup. It's one that we trade very, very, very often. And if you would like to learn about that and you don't know about it currently, well, you can get all of that information, of course, over on our website. We've got all the educational content there for you. And then if you want those sort of updates, you want the trading updates, me posting in the group to alert you that there's a swing failure pattern, you want to ask the questions, do I long or do I short here? I make myself very obvious. You can ask any question about my chart and I will give you the answer. So, if you want that sort of live trading assistance, live questions, live responses, as well as the education, well, you can get that over on chartchampions.com if that's of interest to you. And obviously, that is where we put in the low and we got this rise in price. I'd actually like to just alert you to one thing that happened off of this bounce. And when we zoom in here, I want to show you something that was very interesting. Okay, first of all, I'm actually going to show you this on a very low term time frame chart, such as the 3 minute, just to show you the perfection of that swing failure pattern. Okay, you can see how we come down, literally wick onto the swing failure pattern and we get the instant bounce. This is what we call a perfect reaction. Visually, this is all you're going to need to know this is a long opportunity. We've seen that long wick down and we form a swing failure pattern. Well, if you missed this long opportunity, which I think is perfectly acceptable if you missed that long, what could you be waiting for next? Well, you were actually given a golden opportunity if you remain patient. And that was, we see a market structure change. We have now formed a downtrend into, which was lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, to now higher highs. We have now locally changed our market structure, right? So this continuous lower highs that was going on here is now broken at this point. So that market structure locally has now changed with our low, high, higher low, higher high. Okay, so at this point we could be thinking to ourselves, okay, if you miss this long, which I think is absolutely fine, it's absolutely fine to have missed that long. What can we be waiting for next? It's the CC retracement, right? This is next our favorite Fibonacci level within chart champions. Okay, so it's like Woodchopper says here. I want to just quote him here. Thanks, mate. Back into the dollars. Missed, like he and many others, I think is absolutely acceptable. Missed the swing failure pattern of the lows as he was asleep. No worries, but stayed calm as we got the perfect CC retest. 2 easy opportunities to get into the long trade. He's just took take profit 2 at the daily naked point of control. That CC pool confluence always helps. You know, when I say I'm long, it's generally another extra confluence that you can add to your trade. Okay, and let me just show you here live on the chart what that CC retest was really like. Okay, so Fibonacci then taken from the low up to the high of the rally. Okay, if I just take off this annoying magnet tool, you can see how you got the perfect CC retest here. Okay, talking about you had a good, half a day to get into this. There's no excuses not to be taking this trade. Why? Because now you have an amazing risk to reward where you have the long on the retest. We know where the invalidation is, right? We know where the stop loss is. It's below the wick. Well, and now we have a potential swing trade setup. Of course, we're going to have hit take profit 1, in my opinion, at least. As you can see, Woodchopper, for example, a champion, has already hit take profit 2. Why would I think take profit 1 could be hit here? Because of the range point of control. Okay, so when we start to pull this range, we can see we've ran into this range point of control. This is 100% a good take profit. Definitely very, very good take profit. But what do we have the potential of here? Well, let's say that this is the low. Well, we have a potential very nice swing trade, right? We actually have a very nice swing trade setup. 20, very nice swing trade setup. It could push higher and higher and higher, breaking levels if this is a bottom, right? So this is under the hypothesis that we've put in at least a very local bottom here. We could actually be looking for a very nice trading setup. If I just hide these higher term time frame levels a second so you can get a bit of a clearer view of this. Okay, we could be looking at something very nice down here, right? Low put in, range bound, triangle, broke to the downside, swing failure pattern of the low. Well, if this is a bottom, that's a bottom, right? So let me just bring this back to life and we'll come back down on a lower term time frame. What could you be thinking to yourself now? Let's say you got into the swing failure pattern long or you got into the long off of the CC retest. Definitely, for sure. This is a take profit. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? That means, let's say, for example, you longed $1,000 down here. Okay, you longed $1,000. This is for the education. Say you just longed $1,000. Okay, what I would be doing now is hitting a take profit 1, where we could lock in, for example, close down our position or taking profits per se of $100, 10% of our trade. That will then give us leeway. Okay, we could take more if we were so inclined, but with a potential swing trade, up to you. No financial advice. Do your own research. But for me, this could be a nice 10% take profit, right? And now what would happen? Let's say the high was put in here. Let's just say the high is put in, or we get a retest of the value area high and the high is put in, whatever that case may be. And we end up coming down and we're getting stopped out of that trade. Well, that is a winning trade, whatever happens, because we can move the stop loss up to entry, or we can keep it below the low, and we'll be covered on our fees. Okay, we'll be covered on our fees. So this for me is a very nice position to be in. Why? Because now you have a long from the low. You've hit a take profit 1 of at least 10%, could be more, but at least 10% here. And now you're in this position where if we pump higher and if the low is in, great, you actually have a long position from the overall low on Bitcoin. If the low is not in and we head down lower, then that's also fine. And we have another long opportunity just in front of us, which would actually be a long off of the lower levels that we have here, which you get another long opportunity, right? We still have another long opportunity down here now, okay? Which would then be maybe another swing failure pattern of this low, swing failure pattern onto our bigger level of support. That would be kind of nice. So for me, it's important to be prepared. First of all, be prepared, be aware of what's happening. Okay, it's like I said here. Step 1 is recognize these setups, right? If you don't know what a swing failure pattern is, you're not going to be knowing or aware of this setup. If you don't have the confidence to enter the long after seeing it, well, that's where you might like to be able to have access to my group, to see me posting about it, to see me saying this is a good long trade. So if you lack that confidence, if you just want someone to tell you, hey, this is, for me, is a good long, that's probably going to help you maybe gain a bit of confidence, right? And then from there, once getting in that long trade, it's not getting totally greedy. It's not seeing this lovely rise in price, big profits made, and then not taking profits, seeing it hit resistance and fall back down into your stop loss and losing a trade. We don't want to be in this position of a really nice winning trade turning into a loss. No, we don't want that, definitely. But what we do want is to be in this position where we have a potential long from the bottom. And we are now calm and protected of whatever happens next. We are guaranteed to make money. And give me a hoorah in the chat if you totally agree with what I've been saying here. This is just the educational part of what's happened over the past few days here. How by being aware, you really can take full advantage of this market. By having the confidence, you can get into these lows and get into these really great trades. And yes, sometimes even if you miss the overall low, it doesn't matter. You get the retests. That's where you get the high probabilities. And you can see here, that's where the champions really do make their what can we say, paper money on this. So it's a brilliant type of setup. So yeah, that's what's happened over the past few days. And now I'd like to move on to what's happening now, okay, and what I'm looking for next. And of course, I'll expand more upon the thesis of the stream. But yeah, drop a comment if you've enjoyed that walkthrough. And we'll move on to the next section of what's happening next. Let me just read some of these comments, I suppose. But yeah, you can't deny, this was a zone that we were definitely aware of, and then coming down and hitting that zone really nicely. But yeah, let's see some of these comments in here. Hoorah, hoorah. I love to see the interactions. I love you all here. Oh, here we go. 1,000 likes. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. Honestly, it really is brilliant. So yeah, I appreciate all the people in here watching, giving their love, giving their support. We'll remind you, by the way, that if you are interested, we are still doing the $100,000 giveaway. So if you aren't already, make sure to subscribe and turn that notification bell on, because yeah, this is real, this is happening. And obviously for myself and CC Pool, it's been a we've had a profitable time trading. Let's just say that we've made a lot of profits on our trades. We have obviously taken large short positions and made money while this market is dropping. But we obviously recognize not everybody is so in this sort of position or level of their trading, and just the world in general. Obviously a lot of people going through dark times. It is it's a sad time for many, Christmas, which it really does break my heart. This for me is the best time of the year, but I know for many it's actually the opposite. So yeah, we're recognizing that. We're recognizing, hey, we can do a little bit to help some people. We've decided to give away $100,000. This is going to be happening, and yeah, we were obviously doing this for a little bit of to try and cheer people up and give them the money back to where it's needed. Of course, myself and the other staff here at Chart Champions are very what's the right word here, philanthropic. But generally we don't like to do our charity work on video, don't like to talk about it, because it's kind of this like gray area where it's like, if you give money or you give charity, you do it because you want to help, right? And that has always been what we've done. But we thought, hey, this is a little bit of, we can make this into a little bit of fun. We can make this into a little bit of a, video. And if it goes well, brilliant. If it doesn't, hey, we gave away $100,000. I don't think at the end of the day it can be viewed that bad. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And so if you want to subscribe, tick on that notification bell. We are going to be giving away $100,000. This is not just to one person, by the way. This will be to certain individuals, companies, or people who need it the most, or people who we feel could use that in Christmas time. So yeah, that's just another thing that I would like to mention there. And let's move on now to the big topic of the night, which is, of course, is the bottom in for Bitcoin. Let me just read a few more of these comments. Always remember to pay yourself. Yeah, very important. What he means by that, always remember to pay yourself, means remember to take profits. How many times do you think we've seen traders get into winning trades? They're very happy. They're very proud of their profits. And later they they see their winning trade turn to a loss. Well, that happens too often. Why? Because they get greedy, they get euphoric, and they see all these big profits turn to losses. And that's because they do not take profits. That's why at Chart Champions we are very strict and, place a big focus on our education as well as our insights of hit that take profit, take the profit, pay yourself. Then you're in a position of whatever happened next, you make money. If it drops from here and you get stopped out, it doesn't matter, you made money. If it rises from here even more, that's fine, you're making even more money. But you do not want to be in this position of getting into a winning trade and seeing it turn into a loss. That's the worst thing that you can do as a trader, as an investor. You do not want to see these wins turn to losses. So yeah, time, people, time on the charts will be the only thing every trader can say to another trader. Yes, absolutely agreeing with that. Experience is absolutely necessary. Igor, the legend himself. If you don't know who Igor is, then you are sleeping on this legend. Let's give a shout out to here he is. G-Man, all good here. Thanks. Hope you're well too. Let's give a shout out to Igor. If you're in the chat, if you're a champion, or even if you're just a person who knows who Igor is right now, let's give some love to Igor. Everybody type in the chat. Let's make his day. I want to make Igor smile. Everybody write in the chat right now. Igor, we love you, because I'm telling you right now, hand on my heart, Igor is the best trader I've ever seen trade. I feel it's an absolute privilege for myself even to watch this guy trade. He is a master. He literally is crushing these charts. And he's the one that does it. Yeah, daily this guy's coming in, big whale of the market. Let's just say he has a lot of size to move and comes in here, trades, crushes the charts. And now he's also got he's got his own live trading stream. So if you want to watch the live trading streams with Igor, this is Igor, by the way. If you want to watch his live trading streams, then obviously you can get that over on the website. I mean, this is absolutely, I think everyone will agree with me. This guy has mastered it. His templates are another level. The execution, the winning trades, the doing this all on live stream in front of your eyes, making this money, stacking those profits is absolutely incredible. Comes in here, answers all your question and answers. And I just want to give a big shout out to that legend, because truly, this guy's on another level. I've seen a lot of traders, right? I've seen a lot of traders come through the ranks, but this guy is on another level. This guy is truly amazing. Yeah, so big shout out to Igor. Nice to see you here with us this evening, my friend. Yeah, you can see all these people, all the love. Igor, the man. The guy literally shorted the all-time high, brought it down at the time. The all-time high brought it down to $28,000. He called $28,000 when we were at $65,000. We hit $28,000, and we obviously rose to $69,000. This guy, greatest of all time. You can see the guy's got a lot of love because he has been on track. He has been on track. Look at this. Everybody loves this guy. Yeah, man, look at that. Igor love. Igor, you have got a lot of love. Igor, the best Elliott wave trader. Igor, the man. This guy is, yeah, I mean, I respect him. He's a great guy. He's got a great family. He's got a great, I think this guy is literally somebody that you can idolize. Or myself, I think he's brilliant. But anyway, this is the Igor fanboy love that I love to give. There you go, Igor. Everybody loves you, man. Like myself. So yeah, that's enough of that. Now we'll move on to, again, what's happening next. So just give a quick rundown here of then what we've moved up to. So obviously we moved up to this daily level. We had a daily level around here. On NPOC, first of all, we had an NPOC around here. We had the daily level. And as I showed you there, we also have this zone of the range point of control, right? So we're obviously around this point of control currently. So this is our current resistance that we're at. Within this, locally here, on the smaller term time frame, we had a CCV setup, which is at the time was a bearish setup, right? So we had this setup yesterday. So this was yesterday at 10 a.m. UK time. Look at my team, there is a bearish setup on Bitcoin with a target of 16,391. I did also confirm within the questions that yes, I have taken this short position. This for me is a valid trading setup. Stop loss above the high that was made. Let's see how that goes. Well, yeah, this was then 3 a.m. Okay, so this is obviously what it looked like. This is your bearish CCV setup, target 16391 at 3 a.m. Today, UK time. I was still awake. I said to my team, officially this CCV setup ends at 12 p.m., right? Because you start a new day. But I actually said to my team yesterday at 3 a.m., hey, You know, somebody was also holding on for the CCV in their short. I said officially this is not valid anymore. Why? Because we've started a new day. It's a new day. This setup's not really actually valid officially, right? But who cares about officially? You know, let's trade the context. Let's trade what's happening. Thus, I'm still staying in the same short too. The target can remain key. Remembering what was the target? It's $16,391. All right, this is a visual view of what that looked like at the time. Obviously, seen a bit of a wick to the upside. That doesn't really scare or worry me. Staying in the short for the CCV target. Well, this is what it looks like now. We can see that was the wick here that you see, by the way. That was this wick here. From there, we made our way down, we made our way down, we made our way down, and we hit our CCV target. We then got a bit of a bounce to the upside, right? From again, hitting the target, bouncing, back testing to pretty much the exact dollar, that target one more final time before that rise to the upside. Okay, so we put in our low, high, higher low, higher high. We now changed local market structure, but this setup for me was a short trade setup. This is just a level that I used to take profits on the short. I personally didn't long down here, but I did use it as a take profit on the short trade. And now that really brings us up to where we are now. So the overall low swing failure pattern, retest of the CC, move up to around the range point of control. From the range point of control, we got a rejection, we got a back test, we got a CCV short trade setup, 16,391. That short trade setup hit the target, and that brings us up to right where we are now. Where for me, I'm going to show you the next level that I'm looking for to the upside. Okay. Actually, I'd like to just talk about this very, very, very briefly because this brought some big laughs and a lot of questions as well. Obviously, well, it depends how long. Questions for the newer people. If you've been around, you already knew this. It's not really news to you. But obviously, the last video that we done, I talked about how we are giving levels, right? We're giving levels inside of the group, and these levels are being respected. I mean, you can see this, like swing fair band, like we had the daily, we had the NPC. These levels are like being respected to the exact dollar, and you know, this is not satire. This is not a joke. Like our levels truly are being respected extremely well right now. The levels are being respected, and obviously I said, well, CC pool as a collective, we are trading billions of dollars. Okay, this is not news if you have been around for a while. Okay, we actually won the competition that was on Bybit of, you know, the highest trading team. Myself obviously helping out greatly. But yeah, we had won the you know, this is a fact. How cool is this fact? Out of all the Bybit traders, you know, I'm personally doing the most volume, and CC Pool as a team and as a collective is the officially the largest trading team in the whole of Bybit. This is like official. This was a Bybit competition. This is a real fact. And we were and are the largest volume trading team in the whole of the exchange, literally trading with billions of US dollars. This is a fact. This is undisputable. We won the competition. We are the number one largest trading team in the whole of the exchange, moving billions of dollars. Obviously, for winning this, myself, as trading a lot of volume, was invited to this. But yeah, that's the first thing. Obviously, our levels are well respected, but I don't think it's too much of a surprise when you think about how much volume is being transacted by us, that the levels can be respected so well. This is a nice little pitch, by the way. But you know, I guess I can do, before I move on to this exact price action, I guess I can give a little bit of hopefully a bit of inspiration, bit of a story about this. And that is, you know, I myself, Daniel, here speaking to you right now, I am just your average guy, right? I really am nothing special when it comes to anything outside of trading. I'm really just your totally normal average guy. You know, I was born the exact same way as you were born watching this. You know, I never had money growing up. You know, I didn't have some sort of money handed down to me. I didn't have this inheritance. You know, I struggled. I really struggled when I was growing up, right? My family didn't have money, single mum. You know, just your typical average guy living the typical normal life. You know, I have obviously wasn't in extreme poverty, but I never had what I would refer to as having money, which I hope is kind of, you can view as relatable potentially. But you know, just your normal average guy. But what did I have that really I would like to say at least pushed me on to what I have today is I had a very, very, very big drive. You get the pun, seeing the F1 car in the background. No, I had a very big drive, and I had a very big want of, you know, getting out of this rat race, understanding, hey, I'm not a fan of the government. I'm not a fan of the way things work. I want to be financially free. I want to set myself up for something where I'm not relying on other people, where I can, you know, give something to my family that was never, I was ever, you know, never received. And I think that of being able to give back in that regard is something that's so powerful and so amazing. You know, I just had this really big goal, and I worked extremely, extremely hard for that. Okay, you know, I never had the money, but now I'm invited to the special Bybit event for the highest trading volume on the whole of the exchange. And it's this: hard work pays off in the end. And now CC Pool trading with billions of dollars. You know, and it just goes back to, you know, when you really put your mind to something. And let me tell you this: I failed. You know, I got stopped out. I lost trades, but I never gave up, right? I would never was this type of guy that said, oh, I'm giving up. No, I put in the hours, I put in the time, I put in the hard work. And it's, you know, and I look back on my journey, I suppose, as a trader, it's been a crazy journey. Never, 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 never imagined where I'd be at right now. Never in a million years did I imagine this. I obviously would have loved to it, I would have dreamt of it, but I didn't really think that I'd be at the level that I'm at now, or have the audience I have now. I never done this for the audience. But yeah, it's just crazy to think how many people we're able to help right now. You know, people that have gone from the struggles to the riches. You know, we've seen all the stories. It's absolutely incredible journey, and personally, I just love to document this now and love to give back and love to share it. It really is, for me, like a blessing. It really is a blessing. I feel totally blessed to be where I am. I know a lot of people say, "Hey, Daniel, you're not humble. There, Daniel, you have a massive ego." You know, obviously, so I understand some people's point of views of how they can say I'm just, you know, a lot of people can say I'm an arrogant, egotistical, unhumble guy. I personally don't really share that point of view, but everybody has their own opinions, right? But myself, I can just say this: love me or hate me, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to do my best to give back and share what I've learned. Um, and you know, if you take information, if you take understandings, if you take knowledge from what I say, then brilliant. If you view it in any other way, then hey, that's also fine. I'm not here to make friends or make enemies. I'm just here to share my thoughts at the end of the day, and hopefully create a legacy. That's my goal with this, right? Is to create a legacy. I'd like to be able to have people saying in, you know, 100 years time, hey, can you remember Daniel from Chart Champions? You know, this guy taught me everything I knew. You know, and with the video content on our website, people can watch this in 100 years time. This is like never ending content, right? So, you know, that's the goal with this, is now to have like a legacy, have to have people that really respect and speak highly of you in that regards, and, you know, be really able to change other people's lives. That's the goal that we've got here, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we're achieving, and that's what's pushing us on to more. You know, you might think to yourself, why do myself and other multimillionaires that could be on an island doing nothing right now, why are we doing live streams? Why are we coming in here every single day? Well, it's because we truly have a want to help other people. We, you know, I think it's safe to say myself and other coaches are multimillionaires, right? But we don't are not here for the money. We're not here for anything else other than we truly have a love to give back. We want to give back. We want to have this legacy, and that's what we're doing right now. And I think it's absolutely beautiful for myself anyway, and and for the others involved in this community. I think it's something special. I do think it's something beautiful. Um, so yeah, with that said, that was my Thanksgiving speech, I suppose. At the end of the day, yeah, Thanksgiving, and then I will finally get on to what I'm looking for next. I just will say that Thanksgiving, you know, it's a time to reflect. It's a time to, I think, be thankful for what you have. I think this is one thing. This is my final thing. I hate it when I go on a little. I want to end speak and I want to get back to the charts, but sometimes I do get a bit on a tangent. But I think this is a truly one thing that I can tell you as somebody that has money is money is not. First of all, it's easy to say, I know it is, but money is not everything. If you're not happy with what you have now, more money will not make you more happy. I really am a full believer of this. Whatever you have right now, you have to be truly thankful for what you have, right? So, you know, take a minute, take some time and reflect on what you do have, what makes you happy. So before you go after something that you don't have, be grateful for what you do. Because yeah, I can say that for sure. Money does not equate happiness, for me at least. Um, Again, yeah, we could maybe take some questions about this at the end, but for now, I'm just gonna say, yeah, that's my bit of a talk, and now I want to get on to what I'm looking at next in the chart. So I told you there's a little bit of a secret level above us that I don't think many people have recognized yet, and this is this Eagle session. Shout out to Eagle, by the way. This guy is obviously a legend with his templates and stuff. But I noticed that we have this Eagle naked session point of control. Again, I really don't think many people have realized this, but this is set at 16,820. Again, you can see it's just above current price action. So 16,820 is actually a level locally that I'm aware of. Okay, so this is 16,820. So this is our local level right above us, where we can obviously look for, just always like levels where I could say, oh, potential swing failure pattern, right? Where we could get this kind of move up, swing. Oh my god, look at this lag, it's crazy. Move up, swing failure pattern the high, and come back down, right? So this is my local level that I'm aware of, 16,820. This is a zone. Once again, you don't need to, although we are getting it at that level of respect, we can obviously view this as a zone. Okay, it's not an exact dollar, but this is my next local level to the upside. Clear that, I really think we're looking back up to around 17,300. I told you today I'll answer the question of, is the overall low in for Bitcoin? Okay, at the moment, I think we can say the probabilities are low. Okay, if the bottom's in, brilliant. I personally do have a long from down here, but am I expecting to get stopped out of that long? Am I expecting lower levels? The answer is yes. You know, if the low is in, brilliant. I've longed the overall low on Bitcoin, but I must admit I do not feel that there's a high probability of that being the case. Why? So far, there's zero sign of strength. Overall, this is still lower highs, right? There's nothing here that signifies to me a massive sign of strength. Yes, we had a nice swing failure pattern. Yes, we had a nice CC retest, and we've got a very nice bounce off of it. This has been a profitable long trade. This is a profitable long trade. I have taken profits on this, not closed it, but I have taken a little bit of profits just to protect myself. But until we see a sign of strength, I must feel that the highest probability is still once again lower. Thus, I personally do not feel the bottom is in on Bitcoin. No. Feel we've seen a local bottom, right? A local bottom, but that's different from the overall bottom. Yeah. Could have we seen the overall bottom on the 22nd of 21st of November? Yes, absolutely we could have. If we have, brilliant. I've longed the overall low on Bitcoin. You know, something that I could say. Just like I longed the overall all-time high. The shorted the overall all-time high, right? At 69k, I shorted that. Still have that short open. I'm not closing that short yet. Why? Because I overall think that we're going lower. What could change my mind? It could be a sign of strength, right? So we need to see, at least, in my opinion, at least acceptance above 19,200. So until we get back above 19,200, this for me is a breakdown of our previous range. If we get back into the previous range, then brilliant. This is a deviation. And then this is where we have that amazing long setup, right? But for me, there's no sign of strength yet. This is still in a big downtrend. And until that changes, then I must admit, I'm happy to stay in my larger, higher term time frame shorts. I still have $69,000 short, still have $52,000 short, still have $48,000 short, 47, 48. Still have all those shorts open. Okay, I have one long, and this is only one long that I have open, right? And that's actually from down here at the swing failure pattern. So I have one long, three shorts. I would close those shorts if this does start to show signs of strengths and does get back into the previous range. Yes, I would close a high percentage of my short trades and let this long run. But until that happens, I do not feel there's a high probability that the low is in right now. Again, as a trader, let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, as a professional trader, you have to be aware of probabilities. There's never 100%. I know people wanted me to come in and say the low is in on Bitcoin, or they want me to say the low is not in on Bitcoin. But guess what? If I come in and said that, somebody that actually knows what they're on about, an actual real trader, would laugh at me. And they would say, no, you do not know that. You cannot foresee the future. That's just period wrong. That would be very bad of me to come in and say, yes, this is definitely happening next. This is what's going to happen. No, that's not what we do as professional traders. As professional traders, we trade in probabilities. There's always a probability. Okay? Our probability of this swing failure pattern was we could have gone down lower, right? So we need to wait to see the reaction. We see a swing failure pattern, well, there's a high probability long trade. If we had went straight through the level, well, we next had a high probability long off of this zone. But we do not know if price is going to go down or up next. Okay, we have only probabilities of our levels that we react to. Okay, thus I could say there's a 50-50 probability whether we come up to this level next or we drop. I do not need to know the outcome of this. I do not need to know if we go up or down yet next. All I need to know is the next level that I would look to long and the next level I would look to short. And then once hitting that level, I check the reaction, I check the order flow, and I make an informed decision of yes, do I want to long this, or no, do I not want to long this? Just like when we hit that swing failure pattern, I saw this was a good long. I make the informed decision of this is an acceptable long trade and never short down here. And what happened next? We started to get the bounce. Okay, about 1 day later, we started to get that bounce. But what could have happened? We could have been aware of that swing failure pattern. We could have just went straight through the level. We could have seen a very bad reaction. And then I would have said, no, this is not an acceptable long and let's wait for lower. I'm going to short this bounce. Yeah. So you can see I didn't know, but I'm making informed decisions based off of the reaction and based off the order flow. That's giving me my high probabilities when we hit the level that I'm ready and waiting for. And that is really what a professional does. That is how we extract money from this market. It's not knowing, it's just being aware. It's being prepared with a plan, ready and waiting. We do not need to know what's happening next. We just need to be ready and waiting for our next level to trade. See the reaction and then decide, yes, I want to take that trade, or no, I don't want to take that trade. Period. That's what we do. Okay, I know there's a lot of marketing gimmicks in this space. Hey, use this magic indicator. All you need to do is follow the indicator and make money when it says buy. No, that doesn't work. If you truly have followed this space, if you've truly traded in this long enough, if you've gone through the pain, you've gone through the suffering, and you've come out the other side a better trader and a profitable one, you will know that that doesn't work. There's no such thing as a magic indicator. There's no such thing as a magic. There's nothing magic in this. At the end of the day, you're going to take wins, you're going to take losses. You are going to have pain in this market. Nobody wins every single trade they take. I take losses. Other traders inside the group will take losses. What we need to do is have our risk management in place. For if we take a trade and it loses, we don't get wiped out. We don't get liquidated. No, we have our stop loss. We have our risk management. If we lose our trade, we do not get upset. We do not get emotional. We just say, where's the next opportunity? Where's the next trading setup? Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, I myself take losses on trades. It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely normal. I do not get upset when I take a loss. I just say, hey, lost that trade. Where's the next opportunity? Where's my next level? Let's say, for example, we retrace down to the CC. I'm just using this as an example. Let's say we retrace down to this CC and I take a long trade here and I have my stop loss here and I simply get stopped out that trade. I'm not upset. I'm not scared. I say, hey, I lost that trade. Where's my next opportunity? Or here's my next opportunity, right? Along down here. So I'm not getting emotional. I'm not getting upset. I'm saying, hey, I lost that trade. I have my risk management in place. I have my stop loss. Where's the next opportunity? And that's what I do. I come in here every single day, read the market, mark out my levels, stay patient, waiting for the reaction. And as you can see, that's doing very well. You don't get to trade, millions of dollars if you continuously lose. Now, I'm being very successful, being, consistent. That's the word here, consistent with the trades. And now I get to read lovely comments like this. Happy Thanksgiving. Congrats. Oh, I love this one, by the way. Warbird, back from this guy's been following us since 2018. So 4 years. He says, the true crypto Jesus, you have proven to the haters time and time again that you're not a one-trick pony. Congrats, Daniel. Can't wait to trade the next bull cycle with you. Champ, fam for life. Enjoy the holiday. Thank you so much. I'm not on holiday, by the way. I am actually here working as normal. But yeah, nevertheless, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you had a good day yesterday. And yeah, that was a nice comment because I do remember him from 2018, actually. That was a nice comment to read. But yeah, yeah. All these people. This was the comment here that I kind of maybe I like you showing humility, Daniel. You're a genius trading, no doubt about that. Honestly, sometimes I struggle with your attitude. Then again, you help so many people. I respect that a lot. Yeah, a lot of people say that they don't like my. I guess that sometimes I could be classed as very egotistical or very unhumble, and I think it's majority of the time is when I celebrate trades and people, I guess, that have lost that trade. seem to think that I'm a very bad person or very bad for celebrating the win. I never really view it like that. I think if you see me celebrating a win, I'm not trying to make people feel bad, but I generally do get, I I am a very competitive person. All I can say is that, I do enjoy winning. Um, and I guess sometimes my competitiveness can be viewed as a bit ugly, but I'm not really going to ever apologize for that. That's just who I am. I am a competitive person. I do like to win. I do take this very, very, very seriously, and I do literally my whole life is dedicated to trading. So yeah, I truly have dedicated and sacrificed so much for trading. It's I've ruined whole relationships because I was so obsessed with trading. I don't really regret anything. I'm kind of happy and content with it. But yeah, I have when I think about some of the personal stuff, I have sacrificed quite a lot to be where I am. But anyway, let's not talk about that. Let me take some of these questions. Let's see if we got some questions in here. Oh, man. Alguien de Argentina. Yo no soy de Argentina, pero sí amo a Argentina, aunque desafortunadamente Argentina no está jugando bien en el mundial, ¿eh? Ojalá en el próximo partido pueden ganar. Igor is one of the best. All we still got is the Igor love. Would you rather cry in a Toyota or Lambo? Well, that's kind of, I could give a funny answer to this, I suppose. If you're crying and depressed, maybe I'd actually prefer to cry in the Toyota, because at least I wouldn't be able to go like 200 miles an hour and crash this car. I could get up to a top speed of 40 miles per hour. I'm probably safer if I'm depressed and crying in a Toyota than I would be in a Lambo. So yeah, let's say this. Big ego. Yeah, I probably can't deny that. I probably do have a big ego. But I also think this when it comes to ego. I do think big egos are actually healthy in that regards. If you think about some of the biggest, most successful people in the world, do you think they have a big ego? Is it the ego that pushes them on for more greatness? Is it that ego and want and desire for more per se that makes them continue studying, that makes them continue working? Why? You let's say, for example, love him or hate him again, Elon Musk. Do you think Elon Musk has an ego? Do you think he wants to better himself, better the world? Why is he doing this? Is it because it's the loveness of his heart? One thing that always makes me laugh is actually the black. I'm going to continue to monitor this on the lower term time frames, by the way. Let's just see what we got going on here. A bit of bearish CVD. But one thing that kind of makes me laugh is when people talk about Black Friday. Again, 5-minute tangent, and then we'll get back onto the charts. I'll take some questions and maybe cover some altcoins here. And then I will give a final rundown on Bitcoin, by the way. I will give a final rundown on this so you are not confused. But one thing that kind of makes me laugh is when corporations, businesses will approach Black Friday. Let me ask you this. I'm genuinely intrigued by some of the viewership here. Do you think people or businesses do Black Friday deals because they actually love you? If somebody say, hey, I love you, I'm going to do a Black Friday deal on our product, on my service, on my whatever. We're going to give you off of our thing 20% off. 20% off today. $100 off of our product. You have to think, are these people doing these things for the love of you? Or is Black Friday actually one of these things where they want your money? I think you have to think as a consumer. I'm genuinely intrigued. Answer down in the comments. Do you think Black Friday is done for the goodness of the consumer, or is it the business that just wants your money? Okay, I'm genuinely wondering what people think. If you see a Black Friday deal and something, hey, I'm gonna give you a Black Friday deal because I love you so much. I love my community, so I'm gonna give you 20% off my product. You have to, in my opinion, I'm intrigued by what some of the people think here. But yeah, I can just read the comments off of my phone here. It's a little bit easier, then we can stay monitoring this order flow. But yeah, in my opinion, this is the business at the day wants your money, right? and this is not a bad thing. This is this is how the world works. But at the end of the day, when these deals are done, it's because they are very hungry for more money. They need more money, they need more capital. And so there is a discount offered. This is not for the love of anything, only that they need more business, they need more money. And so I do find it funny when people are like, oh my god, I need like a Black Friday discount, or people are so hungry for these Black Friday discounts. I actually read this really funny thing today where somebody bought an iPad for 700. I think it was, they bought an iPad for like $670 like 2 months ago. Apple actually rose their prices. It wasn't Apple, but this was like some sort of store that sells Apple products and other things. It was some sort of mobile tech store, right? And then they bought an iPad at this tech store. And then 2 months later, the prices actually rose. And now there's like Black Friday deal for, $720. It just kind of made me laugh. But I do think that all of these like Black Friday things are a little bit of a scam. You see the prices like big discount, but it's not actually discounted. It's not even worth the original price, right? Or when people are like, oh, I love you so much, I'm going to give you a discount. It's like, okay, is their business actually failing? Is their business actually doing well? It always kind of runs on my mind, But anyway, that's that. Yeah, let's get back to the charts. So yeah, for me, this is at the moment, well, we're currently range bound. We're currently up on this on this range point of control. Our next level to the upside really is 16,820. And I do think this is a nice liquidity level, right? If we can break and hold this as support, yeah, 17,300 for me, the biggest level locally. Really, really, you can see I got an alert set. It's big zone for me up here. Okay, up to that daily. If we can break that, then I do think we can get a very, very nice large rally to the upside. But before we can, talk about that large rally, we need to break resistance into support, which at the moment we've not done. Okay, at the moment, I do believe lower prices are the highest probability. But if we start to reclaim these big old resistances into support, those probabilities do change, and we can definitely see a rally to the upside, and we could see the bottom here. But for now, we have got bearish CVD. We are not claiming resistance into support, and we are currently rejecting. Thus, we can look for these levels to the downside, which for me remains the biggest here around 15K. Of course, if we lose $15,000, I really think we can still be heading to the next level would be 13,000 for me. 13,000. Why? Because I remember in 2020 trading that like a beast, and actually remembering $13,000 was a level that I was really, 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 really keen on, and it never hit. So I just remember from 2020 there's going to be a lot of liquidity sat at 13K. So 13K, if lost, then yeah, I look for 10K. But for me, this is once again a level to level game, right? So I'm not saying we are definitely going to $3,000. Why? Because there's a lot of levels before that. If we lose a level, I look down to my next level. Just as I'm not saying we're going to $50,000. Why? Well, before we can get to $50,000, we need to get through 16,820. Well, then we need to get through 17,275, right? So we get through these levels, the probabilities change, our setups are adjusted. At the moment, we have our next levels to the upside, to the downside. I do not need to know where this is going next to make money. I just need to know my next level. I then look at the reaction and will take an informed decision of whether I will trade down or not based off of the order flow. So for me, I will once again reiterate. The highest probability is downside. Why? Because we are in a bear market. We have not changed market structure. We have not seen a sign of strength. Where do the probabilities change? If we start to reclaim these big resistances into support. We could have seen the low here. We could have. If we have, I am in that long trade. I'm not going to close that just because I think we're going down lower. I'll happily wait for the stop loss to be hit, which I must admit I do think that's going to be hit. But if it doesn't get hit, and I'm not going to be upset about that. I understand why the highest probability is down at the moment, but I do understand where those probabilities change, and that's the key here. I'm not holding that personal bias. If the probabilities change, I will trade the charts, and I will then adjust that personal bias based off of what's happening here. Okay, my personal bias is based off of the charts. So I will trade the charts, not my bias. I'm not going to be scared to long, I'm not scared to long just as I'm not scared to short. I'll take whatever trade has the highest probability, period. Let me see some of these. Let me just read some of these comments. And then, oops, didn't want to go over on Twitter. just going to read some of these comments for you, and then I'll answer these. I'm not sure how you actually. I'm a bit silly here. I'm not sure how you load up comments on a YouTube video. I have no idea. Black Friday for more. Hi Dan, you're looking forward to percentage drop. Is this around 85%? Okay, so I'll take this question. Yeah, a lot of people are focusing on this, right? That every drop from all-time high is ending at around 85%. You know, this is like a pattern, we could say. So if that's the case, you're looking for a little bit more of a percentage drop, and that is correct. This is I think that these are like very interesting things and patterns. You know, how does technical analysis work? It is based off of these patterns that are reoccurring, right? So I think at the end of the day, yes, we could say that if we're in for another 85% drop, okay, so from all-time high around 85%, we would be looking at a little bit more, right? So 80 brings us to around 13. Look at that, $13,000 for an 80% drop. 85 would bring us to around $10,000. Two levels that I'm very, 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 very keen on. $13,000 and $12,000. So yeah, if we are to continue that pattern of 85% drops, we obviously would not have seen the bottom yet. In this video, I'm not going to give my personal biggest targets. You know why? Because I'm going to be covering that on Sunday, as I have told my team on Sunday on the Champions live stream. I'm going to be going over my high term time frame Elliott wave count, and I'm also going to be giving a little bit of a heads up on a market maker theory that I have right now. So if you want to get my overall bias, obviously, you know, why do I do this? Why? Because this is for the people that are taking this seriously. This is for the people that are inside of the group. You know, these are very dedicated people, and you know, I deserve to give it to the people that are paying for this service. And so on Sunday, I am going to be going through a brand new Elliott wave count from the ground up, from the deleting everything, starting again, Elliott wave count, including the market maker theory that I have based off of this. And that will obviously give the targets, my personal targets, where I think the bottom is going to be in for Bitcoin. If you want to see that, you can obviously get that. It's going to be on Sunday. If you missed the live stream, all our videos are watchable back on demand. And if you ever miss a live stream, you can watch it back whenever you want. It's much like Netflix. But yeah, on Sunday, I'll be doing that Elliott wave count and that market maker theory. So if that's of interest to you, you can catch that over on the website. Again, we have daily live streams here every single day. You're getting at least 2 live streams, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. But yeah, all of our content is watchable back over on here. And yeah, that's what I'll be doing on this Sunday. So obviously you got on our website the streams where we go over targets such as that. You've got the educational content. Each of these videos are 1 hour long. So you come in here, the psychology module. Each of these are 1 hour long videos. And then the speed run is basically a 5-minute condensed version of those 1 hour long videos. So you got the course, you got the speed course, you got the glossary, you got the vaults where you got all the templates, the training journals, the new Atlas templates. These are on fire, the Atlas templates by Igor, EXO desktop templates, but the Atlas ones are fire. You got the cheat sheets. And of course you have the live updates from myself and the other coaches that come in here and absolutely, you know, crush the charts. So you got all of that service over at Chart Champions. And no, by the way, we are not doing a Black Friday discount. I think you're going to see, you know, a lot of people will refer to us as, you know, you could say that we are the Ferrari of the crypto market, the Apple of the tech space. You know, you're not going to ever see us actually offering discounts. Why? Because at the end of the day, I could say there's a few reasons why I don't think our course is personally overpriced in any way. This is in my opinion already cheap. You know, if you understand value, there's, you know, the product has so much value, the service has a lot of value. So that's one reason, to be honest. There's no way that it can warrant a discount. Second of all, you know, I think at the end of the day, Yeah, if you want the service, you can take it, and if you don't want it, you don't need to. You know, we do give a lot away for free, to be fair. You know, we're doing a lot of videos, a lot of tweets, and you can pick up information from this. So, you know, if you don't want to pay, it's absolutely fine. At the end of the day, we don't need your money, right? So we really don't need your money at Chart Champions. So it's like, hey, we got a service. If you want it, take it. If you don't, it's absolutely fine as well. Yeah, we're not going to beg for your custom. So yeah, that there is not going to be a Black Friday discount from us. Our Black Friday discount is that we're going to keep the same prices, right? Because of inflation. You know, this company's been running for years now. Because of inflation, we could rise our prices and say, hey, we're going to rise our prices because of inflation. But no, we're keeping the same prices. We're keeping and we're only upping our service, right? Our service, I think you can ask this anyone in the community. Our service is only getting better and better and better and better. We're only adding more and more and more features. We're only listening to feedback and implementing that. You know, everything that the public have wanted, we've given them thus far. We had a lot of criticism, which I do think was warranted. Yeah, we had a lot of criticism at the start of the year. We went through a very bad patch, but we listened to all of that criticism. We implemented so many changes, and now we've got a better product, and our product is only getting better. Our service is only getting better. Our coaches and levels are only getting better, right? So I think it's fair to say that our Black Friday discount this year is we'll keep the same prices, no inflation. Our product's only our product is, you know, times 5 better than what it was last year, and it's the same price. But anyway, that's enough of this. And so, yeah, I'll take a few questions and I think I'll wrap it up here. Oh yeah, and one final reminder, if you want to be in on that $100,000 giveaway, remember to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. A few questions and I'll wrap this up because Bitcoin is not moving too much here. Yes, it's easy, cheap. Buy contender, later champion. Yeah, this is a general good path. Start a contender, move on to champions. Hey Dan, what should I do if a sub contender is like 1/8 contender and 1/4 of my champion monthly salary? You know, I do kind of get this perspective. People say, hey Daniel, I live in, you know, X country, and you know, this is a lot of money for me. What is a few things that you can do is save up. I understand. I totally understand. It is unachievable for a lot of people, but that's just kind of like in anything. You know, you could say a Ferrari or an Apple iPhone is just not achievable for a lot of people. So I mean, the only thing I could do is save, study, listen to our free content, and then use that free content to better yourself. I do think with the free content that we do give a lot of golden nuggets out, and then you can kind of use that, you know, to help achieve the goal of getting a membership, or ask for it for Christmas, right? I know a lot of people that have given a Chart Champions membership for Christmas. So you could ask for it as a Christmas present. Don't you think that what Fed dictates to do that? Don't you think that what Fed dictates do manipulate the market? Do I think the Fed manipulates the market? I don't really like to get involved in any of this conspiracy theory, not publicly anyway, let's say. I don't want to get involved in any conspiracy theory. I do think that it's wise now. I do think it's wise to pay attention to when a news event is happening, such as the CPI data. I do think that this adds volatility to the market. But generally speaking, this does add volatility, yes. But the levels that you reject off of are still well respected. E.g., the news will come out, will swing for a pattern high, will swing for a pattern low, will remain range bound. You know, the news comes out and there's a massive move. So I do think that these things are influencing the price, but I do think that that would have happened anyway. Let's say the news comes out, it's really bearish, price drops, but we were already in a bear market. So these news events are just accelerating what would have already happened. So I wouldn't really refer to it as manipulation, no. I do think that they're tradable. I do think you want to be aware of it now, but I wouldn't really refer to it as manipulation, no. I wouldn't really say that, to be honest with you. And at the end of the day, I trade the charts, and I don't really trade the news per se. I'm aware of it, but at the end of the day, all I want is the chart. All I want to know is the next level. Trade that. Hello, welcome. Thank you for that, by the way. Can you talk about Sol, please? The CC community is also getting better. Yeah, we got rid of a lot of trolls. We had a big problem in general chat, right? We had a lot of trolls, and it was a lot of just waste of time. And thankfully, we've got rid of a lot of those trolls, and yeah, we've replaced them with high quality traders. So I'm happy about that. I also agree. Um, so yeah, can you talk about Sol? I know Sol got wrecked. At the end of the day, I also agree. Like Sol, um, I personally would not be scared to trade Sol. I would not be scared to long Sol. I think at the end of the day, it's got really big volatility, right? Solana, but I still think it's tradable. The levels are still well respected. It's actually kind of funny, but it is. So can you talk about Sol? My thoughts on Sol would be trade the charts. Don't get scared. Don't get fudded. Don't get, don't think, oh my god, it's going to go to zero. At the end of the day, you can technically trade this. There's longs and shorts, but yeah, can I talk about Sol? My thought first and initial thought on this is, yeah, just trade the charts. It is technically traded. I personally do trade Sol. I am trading Sol, so I'll just say that this is technically traded, even though it's got massive volatility, a lot of FUD, a lot of scared and a lot of fearful people. I do think it's tradable, and actually I have a really nice Elliott wave count on this, which I'll also, I'm not going to promise this, but if I have time, I'll also show my Sol Elliott wave count, because in my opinion, that's come down to support. The best service I've ever seen. Thank you ever so much. Daniel, do you use any indicators like MACD, RSI? No, I do not use this at all. I used to. And this is something that you'll notice if you've been like a long-term watcher, that I used to use such indicators, but I've come to, let's just say, appreciate more order flow. Why? Because this is not guesswork. This is real live data coming in. There's no ifs, there's no buts. It's, hey, this is the data, this is the evidence, these are the trades, and I can make much better decisions off of this. I'm not going to hate on people that use RSI or MACD, but personally, I think this is a very poor trading strategy. I think you're going to get very bad win rates relying solely on those tools in the cryptocurrency market. I used to use them heavily in the stock market, and they did go well for me, but inside crypto, I don't think MACD and RSI is a good strategy. It just doesn't really work consistently enough anymore, and there's just much, in my opinion, much bigger, superior tools to be using. So yeah, I'm not going to hate on people that use it. If you want to give it a go, give it a go. It's good to be aware of it. It's good to learn about, but I do not have this in my arsenal of tools anymore. It's not something you're going to see me referring to. And I will give one final question here. How do you draw pointer controls, where to and from? Okay, good question. It'll be the final one before I wrap it up. For example, here I drew a pointer control of the range. So what am I saying the range is here? There's a few ways that we could do the range, and I would say it is starting here on our first bounce to current price. Another pool that I would say is acceptable from the overall current low to current price. You can see they are giving very exact same pointer controls. The value areas are different, but these are two pools that I feel are valid. Start at a range, overall low. That's what gives you the pointer control. E.g., the volume here. Pointer control is the highest volume. So of all of these candles, this here is the volume profile. So you can see there's, let me just remove one of these. So of our current range, let me just remove everything. I'll give a quick explanation of this, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So we've now taken a volume profile of this candle, which is our overall, well, this is not our overall low anymore, right? Because we swing value patterned it, but from our low to current price. And from here, we are given a pointer control, which is that's of all of this section, the most volume has been processed here. Most volume is processed here. This is naturally a place which is going to provide now support and resistance. This is our value area low. This is our value area high. Got it on 80%. Okay, so we can see here there was a relatively high amount of volume. Here is the biggest amount of volume, so that's our pointer control. And we can see, for example, here, this is a low volume node. So there's not a lot of volume transacted in this space. If you have a low volume node, so let's say our volume profile looks like this. Pointer control, and we have a really low volume node here, and then we end with a bit like this. And this is, let's just say this is our extreme low volume node. This would be our support resistance. We would initially look at that as resistance, or if we get acceptance into this low volume node, we look for all of that to be filled. If you start to get that in single prints, even better. And this is also what we obviously teach over on the website. But when you start to look at single prints, we're looking at the TPO charts. And if you get acceptance into those single prints, they can act as really nice liquided moves. E.g., if you get like a double distribution day, This is what many people refer to as the BART pattern, but basically you get an initial distribution. So this is not a distribution day, by the way, but let's just say that we expand this text and the cluster. And let's just say we had a really big move down now. Again, we had a row of single prints here and we bounced off of this time point of control. This is our time point of control, not a volume point of control. There's a difference between time and price. But let's just say we bounce off of this time point of control, which you're only going to be able to see on a TPO chart. We would then have a row of single prints and we'd have a distribution here, single prints, a second distribution. This would be a double distribution day. What we would actually look for is on the next day, if we get acceptance, or it could be the same day, sorry. Let's say we get our acceptance, we form a distribution down here. We then have one distribution and then a second distribution doubled down here with a row of single prints. The BART pattern is then if we get acceptance into these single prints, right? We are looking for acceptance, quick move to fill all those inefficiencies. Then we have what is known as the BART pattern. Distribution, move down, distribution, into the single prints, fill the single prints, you pump straight back up. Many people are going to say, hey, this is a BART pattern, this is manipulation. It's not true. Okay, it's a simple case of a distribution coming down to support, finding support, getting acceptance into the single prints, quick move back up to the upside. Many uneducated people would refer to this as manipulation, untradeable. Oh my God, I hate this market. All I do is get stopped out. Somebody that has the education, somebody that knows what they're talking about could understand that, could recognize support, could recognize acceptance, and know that what many people refer to as a BART pattern or manipulation is actually a very well thought through process inside of this cryptocurrency market that does happen often, but it's absolutely tradable when you know what you're looking for. So to answer your question, how do I get the point of control? Well, really simply, I can just use a fixed range. But then how do I use that information to make very informed decisions? Well, I'm going to be looking at things such as high and low volume nodes. I'm going to be actually expanding upon the basic pool here onto my TPO charts, looking at time, looking at price, looking at discrepancies between time and price. If there's a discrepancy between time and price, this is also helpful information. Looking at those single prints, looking at the day types. Are we on a double distribution day? Are we on a trending day? Understanding all of that information is what gives you the edge. Place that along with your order flow, and I truly believe you have a very big edge inside this market. This is the type of stuff people don't even know what they're looking at. You know, you do have to have, I'm not going to lie, you do have to obviously dedicate a bit of time to understand this. You're not going to be able to pick this up in one day, but this is what, for myself and the others in the group, this is where we get our edge in the market right now. Again, if you want to learn about that, of course, we have all of the education, all of the guidance, all of the live training now as well, all over on the website, chartchampions.com. I'm just going to end with that. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's live stream. I hope you've learned something from it. I hope you've understood something. And if you've learned nothing, if you've understood nothing, hopefully you can come across and educate yourself if you want to do that. Or if you've just been here for the entertainment, I hope I've entertained you. I'm just going to say that. Thank you ever so much, everybody. I truly hope you've had a good holiday if you celebrate. If you don't, then hope you've enjoyed the World Cup. And if you don't celebrate the holiday, if you don't celebrate the World Cup, hope you have a happy day. Let's just say that. Hope you have a happy day. Hope you have a big smile on your face. I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Myself, the other coaches at CC Pool Chart Champions, we're gonna send you our love. We're gonna send you our regards, and just gonna say thank you ever so much. Honestly, from the bottom of our heart, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you have a smile. Hope you've learned something new. And hey, hope you enjoy what's going to be coming inside of this market. CC Pool, send their regards. Cheers, everybody. Thank you. And once again, that's going to be me signing out. Cheers and goodbye. Actually, I just flipped over to the comments. I just want to say thank you so much before I end. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love to read the comments. I read every single comment, by the way. I just want to say thank you. I love the support. Honestly, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really, 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 really nice. And that is now me definitely signing out. Cheers, everybody. I love you. Goodbye.